What's up, Church Media Pros? Today I've got a quick tutorial about how to make cool social media content out of your live stream recordings. Stick around. Welcome back to Church Media Pro. My name is Aaron Ward, and on this channel we talk about all things church media production and advertising. Today I want to show you how to create cool social media content for your social media channels, specifically stories in Instagram, maybe in TikTok, and in Facebook, obviously, as well, from the videos that you're already recording probably in your live stream, say your YouTube download feed or your Facebook feed. Today I'm going to show you specifically from the YouTube feed how to download it, how to get it into Premiere Pro, and then also use a subscription overlay package to spice it up a little bit to make it more interesting. So let's get into it right now. I'm going to show you my screen. This is a video that I prepared a couple weeks ago for our church, and I'm just going to show you a couple second clip. The best length for these guys is 60 seconds or less. If you want to put them into stories on Instagram, you have to chop them up into 15-second clips. You can put them into YouTube or Instagram TV if you want to make them full length. They will go into your feed as 60-second videos. YouTube does not have the same restraints as far as time mapping. I don't remember what TikTok is because, guys, I'm practically a boomer. I'm an elder millennial at 40 years old. You'll have to look up yourself how long a TikTok can be, but I found that 60 seconds or less is the way to go, and it's the great length for hitting a really quick point in a message. I typically try to find the best 60 seconds of the message as far as an illustration goes, or a point that's hit really hard. I want to find the most interesting part of the message from our senior pastor, or whoever's our guest speaker is, maybe, or one of our associate pastors is preaching. I'm going to find the most dynamic portion of their message from the weekend, or maybe the most interesting, quote, if you will. This one I'm going to play for you real quick, just to show you what I'm talking about.
The word of God is offensive, and so it's not my intention to offend, but to bring the truth, amen? Now, I was going to preach on something else today. I was going to preach a sermon that basically says something along the lines of kids who are raised in online church and families that are in church once every 6 weeks, those kids will probably maybe go to hell. But I decided not to preach that today. So good thing I'm not going to say that today, all right? Because that would be even more offensive, and I just don't want to go there today, all right? We're going to save that for another day, and actually, no, we're not. We're going to hit it for a second. Listen! Don't think your kids are going to grow up loving the Lord when that doesn't look like you do.
All right, so that was a provocative portion of the message from a couple weeks ago, and I chopped it up in Premiere first. But first, let me show you how to get this into Premiere. You want to first start with your YouTube channel. You go to the most recent message. Our most recent message was from this weekend. I'm going to grab it real quick here. I'm going to grab the URL, copy it, and then I'm going to download, if you don't already have it, but 4K video downloader, in my opinion, is the best way to go for ripping YouTubes, guys, and it's super easy. So all you have to do is hit this button that says paste link, and it automatically pastes in the YouTube address that you've already just copied, and then it'll parse here for a second, and then it'll download. So I'm not going to do that already because I've already got it in here, but that's the quickest way to get your YouTube video downloaded to whatever you're going to edit on as far as your computer. If you're using Resi, I also recommend that. There's another video that I've done previously about how to download your service from Resi, so I highly recommend that. It actually takes less time to do if you want to go from that rate, and that'll also give you ability to do start and end times, where at YouTube you just have to download the entire service. So you're getting the worship set as well as any outro or announcements and all that you don't really need. So if you're using Resi, the quickest way is to set in and out points and then just download the message portion. But I digress. Let's get back into this. So Premiere is what I use for editing. You can do this with any other program out there with Final Cut Pro. You could probably use iMovie, these sorts of things, but I prefer Premiere. One great free software if you're not using Premiere or Final Cut is to get Davinci Resolve. It's Blackmagic's editing software, and it is absolutely free, and it works very similarly to Premiere in my usage, at least. I haven't done graphics with it yet, so I'm not sure how great the graphics portion are. Like if you're adding subtitles like I am today, you'll want to check that out. But it is free, so if you want to just get into video editing for the first time and don't want to pay for a pro level non-linear editor, you can get Blackmagic Davinci Resolve for free, and it is a color program primarily, but you can do simple edits just like you can in Premiere, and that's all you really need for this. So so with this, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to cut this up. I've already cut it up. I'm going to make the most dynamic 60 seconds that I can possibly think of. I'm going to cut out any dead air. I'm going to edit for emphasis, guys. As you saw in that video that I play for you, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put subtitles in. So in Premiere, I understand, I just learned this today, that there's a way to do text-to-speech titles, which would be fantastic. I'm not going to be able to show you that to you because I don't know how to do it yet. I'm going to look into it, but in some of the tutorials that you can find in Premiere, I just found out today that you can do a text-to-speech instead of having to type every word out. But I usually just open up a text program, type out what I hear the pastor saying, and then copy and paste that into text here. And how to do that is you go up to Graphics, New Layer, and then Add Text, and then you can double click it and then type in or just copy paste from whatever text program you're transcribing to. So, and then I'm using Impact font today, so I'm gonna I would put that into whatever text I was using. I'm going to delete this layer because I've already done this. Again, this is a really quick tutorial. I'm not going to show you step by step, but I'd grab little portions of what he's saying and make it pop up on the screen so it's easy to read. If a lot of people actually watch Instagram stories with the sound off, and for Impact, you definitely want to have the text on the screen so that people are actually catching what's being said. So that's pretty much it from this side of things. I wanted to show you how to get a wide video format into vertical. So I have this tab over here, and this is my stories tab that's more vertical. And what I did here was just create a new sequence by going File, New, Sequence, and then in the sequence settings, you do have to be have this little the sequence timeline highlighted when you do this. It won't let you do it otherwise, but go to sequence settings, and then you type in a vertical. So 1080 by 1920 instead of 1920 by 1080 is going to give you the vertical format. You want to make sure it's 9 by 16, which is vertical format. Make sure that it is progressive, or whatever you downloaded, you want to make sure it's the same format. But anyway, that's the way to get it into vertical mode for stories. And then the best way to chop these up, once you have it in this format, this side vertical format, or rather horizontal format from your live stream, to make sure that the speaker's in the center of the vertical stories is when you get some of this chopping up. In fact, you can see I've done some zooming in and zooming out just for impact here. And it's full screen right here, full top to bottom, and then it's cropped right here. You just want to find the portions where if he's standing still, you can get him pretty much full screen, and if he's walking, you want to zoom it out so that you get a little bit more room for his movement. But then I took the words, and what I did is actually exported them as an alpha channel so that I could bring them into this portion here. This is the Get Angry was the title of the message. The text is just on this top line, and I just exported that separately for this video. In fact, you don't even have to do an alpha channel. If you do screen, anything that is white will be completely opaque, so that you don't have to actually export a alpha channel. So to get that background, this overlay.mov, which is the grungy kind of background. I went to a site called Motion Array. I've had a subscription to Motion Array for some years now. I use it for After Effects templates, for lower thirds, for video content, but it's great for these promos. Like I use these for our announcement promos when we have a guest speaker. I'll take a portion of their YouTube channel guest speaking at another church, cut it up into the similar format that I am here, and then I'll throw some overlay with it and have even the text that's built into the After Effects template, stream on and stream off and transition all crazy and make it very, very dynamic. So one thing that I'll do in here is I'll actually search for vertical. So in the search field here, or first go to templates, go to Premiere Pro or After Effects, depending on what you want to use. I typically use After Effects, but you can use Premiere. You can use Davinci Resolve as well, which is awesome. That's a new tab, or as well as Final Cut Pro. And then download specific templates for this. I'll go and I'll filter in vertical, and that will bring up things that are story, 1080 by 1920 tall, so that you get these. Let's see, that one. These are vertical here, so you got kind of get that tall version of things, and these are great for just dynamic artistic backgrounds or overlays or what have you that you can throw in on top of your message footage to make it just more interesting looking, like I showed you before here. So, and then I'll just bring it into Premiere in the stories thing, and then this is screened as well. So, this is the footage without it. It just looks normal. Maybe you just want a clean look. You don't want to worry about some, grungy overlay. But I like to throw something more interesting, especially for social media, and this works great. Now, if you don't have it in screen mode, it'll look a little interesting. So if I just go normal, it'll actually cover up whatever is below it. So if you hit screen, you get that, and that's in the effects control tab underneath the blend mode and in the opacity settings here. Go to screen, and that'll just make it look like an overlay. And so I just leave it kind of as is, loop it over and over, and it makes for a more dynamic look on top of the message, so that people's eyes aren't just grabbed by the text, they're grabbed by the interesting, flickering or whatever grunge, sort of texture you put on top of. Now you can do some more graphic design related stuff, which is cool. These are really fun, colorful stories packages. You might use the text, you might not. You'll throw some photos in, or your animated, video from your Premiere project. So with that, guys, that's all I got today. If you like coffee and church media production, head over to friedrichscoffee.com, grab yourself a bag of 12-ounce bag of freshly roasted to-order coffee. That means it doesn't sit on a shelf, guys. It's roasted the day it ships out. So if you order on, say, a Monday, they're going to roast on a Tuesday and send it on a UPS truck that day. And if you live in the continental United States, you can get free shipping with code FREESHIPUSA at checkout. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.